who is the president and general manager of Jet-A-Way Incorporated, which is a waste management company.
Yes, good evening.
Hi, Rolando. Rolando, why don't you tell our listeners who don't know Jet-A-Way, if they haven't seen your trucks around town, what Jet-A-Way does?
Yeah, Jet-A-Way is a commercial rear load recycling and waste removal company. We have 100% commercial customers, so we're not residential. The trucks that come down your street and pick up in front of your house, that's considered residential, and everything else is considered commercial. And so that's what we've been doing for since 1969.
And you mentioned that you have a number of clients. What do you attribute to your success in terms of building up your client base over the years?
Oh, that would be my father. As I said, my father got started in 1969. He had 4 jobs. He was an orderly at Boston City Hospital when it was called City Hospital. He cleaned bricks. He was a gypsy cab guy as well, and he was a hustler. That's what people still tell me. In fact, I met someone yesterday that was 91 years old that knew my dad.
It's an old style entrepreneurship.
I
It's
have
great.
a client that
Yeah.
is 91. He's still involved in working. It's amazing, these stories. So you're a family business.
Yes, we are.
Are you sort of the 3rd generation of family leadership?
Second.
Second.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And my dad, back to that question when I think about it, my dad had a lot of charm about him. And he was never afraid to walk up to people and say what he does. This is what I do for a living. And I saw him do it many times now. I'm not a cold call warrior like my dad was.
Well, he had pride, right?
Yes, yeah. And 5 children to feed, that might be the motivator.
Well, that's a real motivator right now.
What do you think is the best piece of advice, business advice, they ever gave you?
Well, I don't want to use the cliche of work hard, but as I said, whenever I meet someone that knew my dad, they would always tell me he always did what he said he was going to do, even if he had to do it at a loss.
Not a easy thing to do, living up to your word.
He lived up to his word.
Especially in a bad contract or in bad economic times, that really, in my mind, defines the quality of a business person, is when they really live up to their word, even when it's not going to be economically or politically in their best interest to do so.
Right. So where's the business going? You plan on keeping it in the family's hands?
Well, we would like to expand. As I said, we sold about 75% of the company to United Waste Management back in 2008. We kept the rear load business. We've been doing that for the last 4 years. We have about 800 customers and about 2.4 million in sales. And we're looking to grow it. We realize that now we're a niche player. 80% of all our customers are in what I like to, in football terms, we call it the red zone. So our red zone is Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, Hyde Park, Rosendale, Jamaica Plain. That's where 80% of our customers are. That's where we want to concentrate our service offerings in that area and build up inside that area.
So what is the secret of success for waste removal? Is it just volume? Is it efficiency? I imagine that other companies, your competitors, have the same trucks that you do and they bring them to the same transfer stations that you do. So what is terms of the heart and soul of the business?
I think in our case, it's that we're so recognized since we've been doing it since 1969. So it's hard for me to compare myself to some of my competitors who've only been around for 15 years. There are very few places that I go that people don't know Jet-A-Way.
I see your trucks all the time for years.
And I'm in the commercial real estate